morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 266. Please subscribe. The lesson today is another one that I can see, certainly the first part, which is the prayer portion in italics, in the way that a previous lesson, not too long ago, basically looking in the mirror. That's how it struck me when I was reading it earlier today. And it seems that we are indeed speaking to ourselves. Well, there is the one of us. And let's see how that works. So the lesson is, my holy self abides in you, God's Son. So as I'm looking in the mirror, I am seeing God's child. The reflection, however, that I see looking back at me looks exactly as I do, or as I believe I do. So in looking in the mirror, I say, Father, you gave me all your sons, all your children, to be my saviors and my counselors in sight using the body's eyes, not in vision. But they are the bearers of your holy voice to me. In them are you reflected, and in them does Christ look back upon me from myself. The self that I see in that mirror is the reflection of the Christ, the elder brother, the anointed one. So the Christ looks back upon me from myself. Let not your son, your child, forget your holy name. I call upon God's name and on my own. From part 1 of the workbook, we know that. Let not your child, your daughter, your son forget their holy source. I am as God created me. I am one as God created me. And let not your child forget their name is yours. There is one name, and that I share with God. There is one name, and that I share with all of my brothers and all of my sisters, all of the sonship. There is only one name. Now I have, in my insanity and my belief in bodies, I have separated the one into many, hundreds, thousands, millions. I have separated them. And I look upon each of the separated ones as I now see them, and I do not see their oneness. I do not see that indeed they are a part of me and I of them. So today, let me rethink that. Let me re-see that. Instead of using the body eyes to see the many, let me use Christ's vision and only see the one, because there is only the one. The second part of the lesson today in the text portion says, this day, right now, we enter into paradise, calling upon God's name and on our own, acknowledging our self, our true self, our big S self in each of us, because that one is within the all and the many. United in the holy love of God. We are all united in the holy love of God. I am blessed as a child of God. We all are. How many saviors God has given us? How can we lose the way to him when he has filled the world with those who point to him and given us the sight to look on them? How can we fail? How can we fail to find our way home when there are signposts, there are saviors, there are teachers, there are companions all over the world showing us the way to go home? Because our holy self can only abide in and as God's Son. And there is no other way, because that is the only way that we are home. That is the only way we know that we are home. In the manual for teachers, there is a section that asks about how many teachers does it take, are needed to save this world? And the answer to that question is one, just one. One holy, perfect teacher whose learning is complete is all that is needed. That suffices. This one, sanctified and redeemed, becomes the self, the true self, the big S self, who is the Son, the child of God. They who were always Holy Spirit now no longer see themselves as a body or even as in a body, and therefore they are limitless. And being limitless, their thoughts are joined with God's forever and forever. The Holy Self abides in you, our Father, and his perception of himself is based upon God's judgment, which is always, I love you, I am well pleased in you, my dear child. Not his own, not my judgment. My judgment upon myself is harsh, but the judgment of God is fully loving and kind and gentle. And thus does he, that one teacher, share God's will and bring their thoughts to the still deluded minds, those around us who are still sleeping, but they are still part of us. They are still part of the sonship. And then he is forever one, because he is as God created him, and he has accepted Christ, and he is saved. He has accepted the atonement, the at-one-ment, and he is saved. So let us all be saved today when we understand that our holy self abides in you, God's child. My holy self is in you, yours is within me. We indeed are one. Today and every day, we live and breathe and love and move in God and in each other. That's it for today. I hope it helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. And some of these lessons are a little more difficult to comprehend than others, so I'm always happy if I can make them a little easier to understand. And some of the lessons of late, the comments are that they're very difficult to see creation's gentleness when the body eyes see anything but. But we're going to get through this together, home, hand in hand. So like, share, subscribe, comment, pray. Please be here tomorrow for a lovely, lovely favorite lesson in part 2 of the workbook. Namaste.